And we're live. Thank you for joining the Naked Parent Podcast. My name's Chad Ratliffe. I'm your host, and we're here with Mandy Weaver today. Thanks for being on the show today with us, Mandy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Mandy is a busy mother of two, and her oldest has autism, and her youngest has EOE, which stands for what, Mandy?
It's eosinophilic esophagitis.
Wow.
And that is it's essentially his body attacks his esophagus and causes it to swell. And It's an allergy reaction.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Is that something that you have to stay away from certain foods and environments, or?
Certain foods, he has to be on consistent steroid medication. He has to have a endoscopy every 6 months to make sure his throat is not swelling.
Wow.
It's all kinds of stuff.
Wow. So, okay. And you work full time, and you have an online sensory store.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. We'd love for you to tell us more about the sensory store towards the end of the show. But I understand it's sensoryforme.org. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, we'd love to hear more about it later in the show. But like I said, thanks for being with us today. As you know, we're here to reach parents who have special needs children and want to create the life and family of their dreams. And some of these interviews and conversations with other people help answer questions and fill in holes for other people. So we thank you for being with us. Maybe you can share with us something in the beginning of your journey when you knew that something was different.
It was actually when my daughter was really young. She would actually go crawl to a corner at about 6 months old and take a string and literally wrap it around her finger and then unwrap it and then wrap it. And she would do that for an hour.
Wow.
And, 6-month-old don't do that.
Right.
So we knew then, something just wasn't quite right. So, and, she wanted to kind of play by herself. She always kind of wanted to play by herself. Now, she was affectionate, but when it came to playtime, she wanted to be by herself. So that was kind of our first inclination that something was a little off.
Did you bring this up to a doctor, or were you just kind of keeping this internalized at that point?
Oh no, we brought it up. And we got told, she's a girl, she's gonna grow out of it. She'll grow out of it, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that was the story we were told for a very long time. She'll grow out of it. Anything and everything we would bring up, she'll grow out of it. But, well, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many parents I've heard the same story from. There must be something in the medical industry that tells them to go with the delay or she'll grow out of it. Because countless parents have told me the same story. I've had the same experience myself. And, I held on to it, close to my heart in the beginning. Oh, great. Oh, great. She's going to grow out of it. Oh, awesome. That's fantastic.
Exactly. And that was it, is, oh, she's going to grow out of it. And, we kept telling them she's not growing out of it, but they just kept insisting, no, she's going to grow out of it. Don't worry about it. She'll grow out of it. Um, she was actually an early talker,
Okay.
but when it came to physical, she was delayed. Um, and it was, oh no, she'll be fine. She'll catch up, and she did. But it was still the things that we were bringing up, and oh no, don't worry about it. She'll be fine. She'll catch up. She'll grow out of it. And it was
Yeah.
still these things that we kept insisting, going, something's wrong. Something needs to be done. And
Um, is there something that comes to mind that you wish you knew now that you didn't know then?
um, one thing I really wish we would have pushed more for then was an autism testing. We really didn't, and I really wish we would have before. Um, it would have saved us a lot of trouble when she entered school,
Okay.
but we just didn't do it. So.
And how did that affect schooling in the beginning?
It was horrible. She was made out as the bad kid.
Oh.
She was actually labeled the behavioral student.
Wow.
She was put in the behavioral classroom. She was labeled as emotionally disturbed.
Ooh.
It was just horrible. Anything and everything, and they treated her as the bad student, and we kept saying, guys, there's something else going on. That she's not a bad kid, but that's what she was treated as.
Hmm. And that's, to parents in Naked Parent Nation, we just urge that parents listen to your doctor, but push for those, push for those tests, because in your situation, I mean, it's affecting your child, it's affecting your family,
Mm-hmm.
And maybe with a diagnosis or something, there's a different path potentially.
She could have gotten early intervention.
Early intervention, which is, it's hard to kind of quantify or qualify the importance of that, but it's absolutely important. And that's just terrible. I mean, first of all, nobody should ever be treated that way in the first place, let alone somebody who's already dealing with challenges.
Yes.
The environment's already overwhelming. So I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry your daughter had to go through that. That's definitely something I hope parents push for, is to get that. I like to do this early in the show because I like to get to a more positive place. But what's one of the worst moments on your journey that stands out?
One of the very worst moments on our journey was actually getting called down from my job. I had to go leave my job because they had pushed her so far at school that she was literally tearing the room apart.
Oh my gosh.
Because they didn't know how to treat her, and they had actually injured my child.
Oh my gosh.
She had bruises on her arms. And she had gone into a complete meltdown. But they were still telling her she was being bad. They had locked her in a room by herself, and she was just completely tearing the room apart. Gosh. When I got there, she was standing on a counter trying to rip the blinds down so she could crawl out the window.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
It's a nightmare. Oh, I'm so sorry. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And that's the reason we need to come together, is to make sure that these situations don't happen. I can only imagine how lonely a feeling that must be for our children, for your child to be in that situation.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Um, can you think of an aha moment that you've had along this journey up until this point?
Um, Actually, it's been recently. She is older now, and she's getting ready to go into high school, and she has joined FFA this year, and she is raising a goat for FFA,
Really?
and
Cool.
she is connecting with the animals so well, and this has been one of our aha moments. Has been this since the end of last year. About a month before school ended is when they started doing the raising for next year and into the summer, and it has just been amazing how well she is doing with this project. So that has been an eye opener at
Awesome.
how great she is with this. So,
And what does FFA stand for those that don't know?
Future Farmers of America.
So
So,
cool. I hear
yes.
only great things about that program. I'm glad that you found that.
Yes, it has been amazing for her. She does great with it. So,
And it sounds like she's excited taking ownership and raising this goat,
yes, and
which is
that's
awesome.
been, and even all of the other animals that are in the barn, because they have them at the school. She connects with all of them. So
Really.
it's been good. So,
That's great. Actually, an ABA therapist for one of my children recently has brought up, a program that she wanted me to look into, because she feels that the connection with animals would affect,
hmm
my child in a positive way. So that's great to hear that you.
it is. It's amazing just to see them with the animals. She's always connected because she's done horseback riding in the past and she connected with them, but just seeing her take ownership of one of them and do what she has to do, the feeding, the bathing, she's doing it. So,
I love that. I love that. Um, what's one of the what's something that you're excited about as it relates to raising your child? Kind of looking forward.
I am excited to see where she goes from here. I have seen some major growth in her here lately. I I'm excited to see where she goes. She's actually talking about possibly doing something along veterinary stuff right now. So we'll
Cool.
see what she does.
Cool. Um, and I believe I have. We get into a favorite quote. Is your favorite quote? Um, is it? Yep. Is it
It's
is it a unique name?
it's actually from Lion King, Hakuna Matata.
Okay. Is there a translation for that?
It means no worries,
No
because
worry. That's awesome.
that's the best thing we can do around here with everything we've got going on.
Is that like? Is that where you try to? How does that? How do you use that in your life to?
Well, around here we can have super rough days. As any parents know, and that are raising kids with special needs, you can have those rough days. And at the end of the day, we just kind of have to take a deep breath and go, Akuna Matata, no worries. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. Let's move on. Hope for a better day tomorrow.
I like that. Hakuna Matata. And how about you? How are you caring for yourself? Or are you caring for making time for yourself?
Um, well, I really can't right now. Didn't fill you in on this beforehand. I was actually just recently diagnosed with MS myself.
Wow.
So I I'm not really having much time for myself. I try to, but we're getting through. So
Yeah, and how are you handling that? That's some big news.
I'm handling it. You know, I have family around. They're helping me out. My husband helps out. Um, the kids try and help out as much as they can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I can hear that in the background. And I mean, you seem like you stay positive or fairly positive. Is that correct, or do you have challenges?
I have to. There's no other way to be. I have to stay positive for the kids. Um, if I get down, they feel it.
Right.
They react to that, and if I'm down and out, they get down and out, and that makes them have a worse day.
Mhm.
So I try not to. I try to stay as positive as I can.
And is there anything that you credit to? Because I mean, some people tell me, I try to stay as positive as I can, but when this happens, it just throws everything sideways, and all bets are off. How do you credit it to anybody or anything that you're able to stay positive in adversity?
You know what? It's actually my family. If they see me getting to the point of ready to break down, um, they actually they'll start doing stuff to cheer me up.
Awesome.
You know, my husband will, or my daughter's very sensitive to it. She'll notice it, and she'll start acting silly just to try and get a smile on my face. My son does the same thing, just to do stuff. So
That's awesome.
and sorry, my son is being a little silly in the background because he had an endoscopy today, so he was under anesthesia earlier.
Oh, just kind of, yeah.
That is completely normal for me.
That's awesome that you have your family. I mean, that just if there's any supporters of people raising special needs children, the help and support that we get from our family and friends is priceless. So
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that you have a good supporting family with you.
Yes.
So I'm going to go through a few questions right now. You can give kind of one word to
Okay.
one sentence answers just to get through a few more questions.
No problem.
What's the best advice you have received?
The best advice I have received is fight for what you believe.
Fight for what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a personal habit that contributes to your success?
My strength in myself. I've always fought for what I want, and I just go for it.
Awesome. Do you have a top resource or recommendation to share with other parents?
I actually use the web a lot. Just Google and look up. That's what I've done.
There's a lot of information out there. What's the next thing on your list that you want to add for your individual well-being?
I just taking time for myself. Making sure I have time for me.
Right. Sounds like you're gonna, yeah, we have to do that for sure. What's one thing you think will improve your life if you had it, did it? What's that one thing that would improve your life?
More money.
More money. True. And then, any guidance or advice that you can share with other parents in Naked Parent Nation?
Just do what you think is best for your child. You don't always have to listen to what others are telling you. Do what is best for your child.
That's right. That's great advice. That's great advice. And can you tell us about your sensory store? Tell us the URL again and a little bit about it.
Sure. It is www.sensoryforme.org. It was actually started with my daughter in mind, to fulfill her sensory needs. And we have somewhat of a large quantity in stock right now. I am a one-woman show. I don't have others helping me, so we are getting new ideas in daily. So I am adding new stuff all the time. And we're just trying to ship it out. And my daughter does help. She helps me build the handmade items. And she actually helped design the logo.
Awesome.
And we're going from there. And I have partnered with Crazy Aaron's Putty.
Okay.
And they supply me with all the putty to go out. So
we have
awesome.
a sponsor.
Yes.
Naked Parent Nation, that is sensoryforme.org, sensoryforme.org. Check it out. And Mandy, we're so grateful that you were with us today, that you shared your story and your experience and your strength. And maybe we can have you on the show again down the road and just kind of hear the update and the progress.
I'd love to.
All right, thanks. And you have a great week. And I wish you all the best this summer and your family, all the blessings, and may all your dreams come true.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.